Lieve kijkers, hartelijk welkom. Je kijkt weer naar een nieuwe aflevering van She Rises. In deze aflevering praten wij met Erika Van Der Mark, een transformational coach. En ja, sinds ik Erika ken, vind ik haar heel erg inspirerend. Heb ik veel van haar mogen leren. En ik ben heel erg blij dat ze vandaag ook haar persoonlijk verhaal met ons wil delen. Ik zal het interview met Erika wel in het Engels doen, omdat ze eigenlijk van geboorte dus Engels sprekend is. Ze praat nu inmiddels wel Nederlands, want ze woont in Suriname, maar een beetje gebroken. Dus ze is er comfortabeler mee om het interview in het Engels te doen. Dus ik ga zo meteen switchen naar Engels. Maar ik weet zeker dat jullie me dan ook goed zullen kunnen volgen. Ook vandaag wil ik Shanna Suriname bedanken voor mijn prachtige jurk en Food Candy voor mijn schoentjes. En grote dank ook aan HSDS Lifestyle voor het aankleden van de studio vandaag. Kijk mee. Mijn gast voor vandaag is Erika Van Der Mark. She is transformational coach en founder van Journey to Horizon en Truthversation. Erika is vandaag ook aangekleed door Shanna Suriname en heeft hele mooie schoenen van Food Candy. So today I have in the studio Erika Van Der Mark. As I told you before, she's a transformational coach. And the first time I met Erika was at an Inspiring Ladies of the Caribbean conference. I didn't even know she was living in Suriname, but she lives here. And I thought her story was very interesting because there was no big drama or anything. There was just a certain point in her life where she had to choose a path to self-discovery. And as a woman, I have also been taught how to do and how not to, and what to expect and what to want in life. But to get into a certain path of self-discovery and discover yourself, what you really want, what your true passion is, it is not that easy. And you really have to make a choice to do that. And Erika had a turning point in her life where she got the courage to choose for that path, but it was not easy.
No, it
And
wasn't.
today she's gonna open up a little about it. I'm very thankful you are willing to share your story with us, Erika, and to share all the wonderful things you are doing now with Journey to Horizon and Truthversation.
Yes.
But let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
I know you were telling me you had everything a woman should want, like a beautiful husband, no financial stress, 2 beautiful children, married, a wonderful life, but still you were not really happy or feeling happy.
Yeah.
So when did you get confronted with this feeling that, oh my God, what's happening here? I have everything, but still I'm not truly happy with my situation. How did you come to this
Realization.
part and realization?
Yeah, so actually the whole process of getting there happened gradually. I could remember sitting in my living room one time and my husband at the time were playing with the kids, and I realized that, you know, they were laughing and joking, and I was upstairs in my living room at the time, and I looked at them and saw how happy they were and realized that I was actually really unhappy with myself. So that sparked a question, you know, if I have everything, why am I feeling the way? It was a really complicated feeling on the inside because I couldn't actually pinpoint what was the cause for the unhappiness. And I spoke to him at the time about it and told him I was on the verge of making 30, and he was actually planning a party because I always told him I wanted to have a big party and so forth, you know, celebrate.
When you get 30,
When
like
I
the
get
big
30,
30. Yes,
exactly.
okay, so you want to have a bash.
Exactly.
Celebrate it. Okay, that was your wish.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
my wish. And in the realization that I was unhappy, I actually told him, hey, listen, honey, I prefer that we not have the party and we actually invest in a vacation together, because at that time we had our 2 kids. He was working hard. I was very supportive to him and his dream and the things that he needed to achieve. I also chose to be a stay-at-home mom at the time. So for me, it was really doing everything for him, that he's happy, he's good. The kids are happy, they're good.
You have a nice home, you have a nice family, yeah.
Exactly. So we took a vacation, and it was really a nice vacation, and at the same time where I thought we were actually going to revive the relationship because it had taken a turn, it was the point where I realized, okay, we have a problem. We need to actually do more to this. So that was actually the point where I realized a bit that, okay, this is not going the way it used to be before. So That's where it started.
Yeah, how did you think the whole thing started, that you were not really feeling happy? I mean, it on the vacation you already had a certain point, but I mean, if you think of all the things that happened before, like how you were taking care of the kids and how you were at home, I think a lot of things were happening that slowly you were maybe giving up your own happiness for the happiness of your family and the children.
Yeah, so, you know, it is a real process and journey. So now, if I reflect back to that time, I can answer more truthfully if I look at a third person's perspective to my situation. And I do believe that because I started in a relationship with him when I was 18, and I actually didn't know myself, and my happiness was based on the happiness of the people around me, and I really and truly loved doing things for everyone at a certain time, it felt as if something shifted when I was reaching to the ages between 28 and 30. Something shifted in me. And when I started to actually look at that shift, there was a realization that I actually didn't know who I was, because my happiness and who I thought I was based on all the voices of everyone telling me who I should be and how it should be,
all
how
the
life should look.
expectations.
Exactly.
And
So, yeah, it was more a question like, okay, well, who am I if I block out all of the voices of who everyone told me I should be? You know, the expectations of my dad, my mom, my grandmother, everyone around me, his expectations too, because when we engaged in marriage, it was because, hey, you know, we want certain things from a partner, else you're not going to choose to be together either. So I didn't know who I was showing up actually in that transition, because starting at 18 and then becoming 30 within a relationship is a major change. We are ever growing. So I grew into someone else, and I believe that we both grew apart.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of women, when they are in a house with children and a husband, and they're stay-at-home moms, especially because when you work, you're in a different vibe. But I think it happens a lot to more often to stay-at-home moms, that you cannot say no. You are, like you were saying, a little bit of a people pleaser, and if everybody's happy, you're happy.
Yes.
And now you found out that you were not completely happy. But
happiness cannot be based on the people around us. Happiness, we should look on the inside and feed ourselves. That is something I learned along the way, which is actually the reason why I started Truthversation.
Ah, okay. Okay, so before we come to Truthversation, I wanted to know, you didn't feel guilty because at a certain point the marriage didn't work out anymore, and you had a certain path to self-discovery, and you were choosing your own happiness and then looking after the rest, which was very not something you would normally do till at this point.
Yes.
And a lot of the time when people or women choose for this path, they have guilt feelings, and they feel guilty towards their children for maybe like how the marriage didn't work out because you were choosing this path, breaking a home, or they call it like breaking a home. I'm not sure if that is the exact term I have to use now, because it's not like your home is not happy at the moment. But I mean, at a certain point when the marriage doesn't work out because you choose your own happiness, then they make you feel guilty. For choosing your own happiness. And a lot of people think women should sacrifice their happiness for the family and for the children. How did you feel about it?
Well,
because it did break your marriage at that point.
Yes. In all honesty, and because we're having this interview, I do believe it's important that I remain very truthful. The process of finding myself came with a lot of heartache, and yes, there was a guilty feeling, because I too grew up, believing that a mom should sacrifice her time and herself for her kids. And when I was feeling the way I did, I actually spoke to people around me, my mom included, and she also was telling me, no, think about the children, and everyone was actually against what I was feeling, so I felt alone. And there's the deeper knowingness that I had that I felt. I didn't think about it, I felt it. I felt like it's gonna be okay. And the more I...
So you had a gut feeling.
Exactly.
Like it was the right thing to do. And although a lot of people were not totally agreeing with your
Exactly.
path to to happiness.
To happiness. And what I would like to fill in then, that guilt feeling came and left. So the emotions, guilt, weren't there every day, the whole day. There were moments of guilt.
Yeah.
And
Because that can make you can be depressing.
Yeah, well,
especially
yes.
if you have children, they are a little grown up and they can, give their opinion, and they're like, why is this happening? I mean,
Yes.
it should have been difficult.
It was extremely difficult. It wasn't an easy road, and I felt often alone on the path to self-discovery. And what kept it actually alive in me to continue on the path to self-discovery is because the more spiritual I became, and after studying past life therapy, I learned that we are all souls that enter into the body. And as a soul, we have all the answers. And as a soul, we choose our path. So that actually helped me to put things into perspective. So if my kids chose me as a mom, then they knew that divorce would be part of their journey. That's something they chose for, as
wow.
well on a spiritual level.
Oh, really?
Which gave me a calm feeling like, okay, let's just, Erika, work with your gut, work with your feeling, follow your intuition, follow your energy, follow your inner calling and see how it unfolds. And I had to trust the process and let go of the guilt and trust my own process.
Okay.
And I'm so happy that I did that, because where there was a lingering sound or voice in my head saying, I'm actually creating a broken home for my kids, I contributed to their home being broken. What happened is changed in mindset, where I realized that my kids have two parents that love them, and I must say I am very blessed to have the father of my kids, because we both work really hard at keeping a good friendship and a good co-parenting relationship.
Situation.
Yes. He always looked out for me to make sure that I was okay, and I also communicated with him over the kids and over everything, and we always made sure that they were good. And if I look at the way our lives unfolded, my kids don't come from a broken home. My kids now have an extended home, because they are blessed with their bonus dad, which is my partner, and blessed with their bonus mom, which is an awesome woman, lady. She is just being such an amazing influence and value to my kids' life. So I feel like my kids' life are right now more enriched in so many more ways.
Wow.
So
that's
for
an
me,
amazing way to look at it.
yes.
Yeah, that's an amazing way. And
Thank
I think
you.
your positivity brought you to this point. Erika, would you like to share with us how you came to be a transformational coach?
Yes. So it all started when I studied life coaching. I was so intrigued with what I was learning that I continued on the path to deepening my knowledge on spiritual coaching, because that's slightly different. And every time I was pulled in a direction, so for instance, I did energy healing, I did past
Like
life
pranic
therapy,
healing?
like pranic
Oh, wow.
healing.
Okay.
Yes.
That's working with energies, right?
That's
and
working
healing
with
people with
energies.
energies?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't do that. However, I use the knowledge and wisdom from pranic healing.
Okay.
And I've actually integrated in the way I work.
Wow. Okay.
And studying neuro-linguistic programming, as well as being part of a 10-day silent retreat called Vipassana.
Okay, can you explain very quick maybe what the
Neuro-linguistic programming?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Neuro-linguistic programming means, it's actually, neuro means brains, linguistic is speaking, and programming. So we're all conditioned with what we pick up in our sensory system. The way we register information is actually the way we bring out the information.
Yeah, that
we
makes
speak.
sense.
Yes.
That makes sense. Okay.
And we all have a reference in which we work with. So neuro-linguistic programming is actually a study people can follow and
Okay.
also get certain
And you
type
found
of
it very
healings.
interesting.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So I'm really the number one pusher of NLP. I send everyone to them.
Okay.
So it's yeah.
And at a certain point you founded Journey to Horizon. What is the goal with Journey to Horizon?
So the goal of Journey to Horizon has been ever changing. Right now, I feel most comfortable saying that Journey to Horizon will serve as a platform. I found myself through a series of practices,
Okay.
and I actually want to give my story on a website, which would be the platform.
Okay. Is it already online?
It's not online. I'm still working on it.
But you have a Facebook page, right?
Yes, I do have Facebook
Okay.
and Instagram,
Okay.
and working on LinkedIn.
So it's a platform
Yes.
for
For the teachers and healers that were part of my process.
okay. From Suriname?
Yes.
Teachers and healers from Suriname?
Yes, some, and I do have Rosita Rijkland that
Okay.
is in
Because I'm not
Holland.
familiar with all the spiritual things happening in Suriname. I was born and raised a Christian girl,
Yes.
so I'm just only familiar with churches and stuff
Oh,
like
yes.
that. But there are a lot of teachers and healers in Suriname.
Yes,
Healers in
they are.
Suriname.
They are. So
Can you call a few names if it's okay?
Well, the study that I did was first with Dr. Harold Koning.
Okay.
And of course, I have colleagues that I work with. Tariq Sadiq is also a personal teacher of mine, colleague
Yeah, he's
teacher.
a life coach,
He's
right?
also a life coach.
Okay.
There's Gosh Potts that I followed the Vipassana by.
Okay. Who is that? Gosh, Posh.
He is a monk that is living in Suriname,
Ah.
a real life monk that lived
Really?
in Goa for 14 years and did his
Wow.
practices there.
And then he ended up in Suriname.
He's here, yes. I
Okay.
followed my 10-day silence by him home. Yes.
10 days silence.
10 days
That's like
silence.
not talking.
That's
in
like
10
not
days.
talking.
Oh my God.
I only
would go
got
totally
15
crazy.
minutes to explain to him what I was experiencing. Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yes.
So your goal with Journey to Horizon is to create a platform where people can connect with certain healers and coaches
Yes.
who were part of your journey.
Yes.
Okay,
So
that's
to
interesting.
explain it a bit better, I had my own journey to my horizon. You know, the horizon is the most prettiest thing that you can see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so calming and soothing. However, we can't just step out of our door and see the horizon.
No.
I mean, we have to journey to a place to be able to see the beauty of it. And
Yes.
exactly like that, I believe that we need to travel within ourselves to that spot where we can actually see the beauty in ourselves.
Wow.
And to get there, we can't do it alone. We need people that have actually studied this, people that are blessed from the divine with certain healing powers.
Okay.
Rosita Rijkland has absolutely had an amazing impact on me because she actually does ancestral healing. And in past life therapy, I learned that our DNA, everything that we're made up of, are actually from our ancestors as well.
Oh my gosh,
So
okay.
baggage that we carry that we didn't actually choose for is in our
System.
DNA,
yeah,
is in our
your body,
system.
yeah.
And Rosita
Okay.
actually played such a valuable part for healing things in my mom's line and in my dad's line.
Really?
Yeah, so
Wow,
I
this
do
is such an
believe that
interesting theory.
yeah,
Okay.
people should know about this and then just be able to choose if they would want it or not.
Okay, of
So the
course.
platform is just to make things visible, where people have the opportunity to choose if they want this path to their horizon or not.
Okay,
So-
very interesting and totally new for me, but it's really nice to expand my knowledge this way. And out of Journey to Horizon, Truthversation is born.
Yes.
What is Truthversation?
So Truthversation, for me, the intention why I created Truthversation is because I wanted a word to help me, remind me of what I can do differently. So to give you an example, in my marriage, one of the reasons why it failed as well, I take responsibility for not communicating the way I should have. There were many times that I felt things and I would keep it inside and actually have a reactive way of expressing myself. So for instance, he worked hard. So when it was a lot for me, I would say, "You're never home.
Yeah.
You're never home. When you finally come home, you're going to go and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. What about me?" that's actually the worst way to communicate, because he's actually with all positive intentions working hard for his family.
Yeah,
and then
providing
I'm
for
coming
his
across like I'm unappreciative. So the
okay.
truth is, I actually should have expressed myself differently.
Like
and this
how?
is the Truthversation way. I should have actually said, you know, honey, I understand that you're working hard. And I actually support that you're working hard. And at the same time, I feel lonely and unappreciated. Because then he will be more receptive to what I'm feeling because of his hard working, which would actually have put him in the position to be able to choose to meet me halfway.
Wow.
What I actually created was a defense. What am I doing? I'm working hard so you could be able to do this and we could be able to do that.
Yeah.
It's not a fruitful conversation.
No.
And I do believe that Truthversation is key to actually showing up fully with all the good and all the hurt and all the bad, and meet each other halfway.
Wow. That's
to really
so
create
nice.
a good, stable foundation.
And at the moment you are having Truthversation sessions with people from Suriname, like couples and
Yes.
women?
I'm women, men, couples.
Okay, that's very nice.
It's very helpful. I've realized that when people understand the concept of Truthversation, and what I do is I offer sessions. Someone can sign up just for a one-time session because they need a sounding board. And when I listen to their truth, I listen to what they say, I observe their body language, I listen to where the hurt lies, and then I actually help them to turn their conversation to me into a Truthversation with themselves.
Do you think you have a special gift for this? Because I cannot always, I'm very naive, like me for instance. If I talk to someone, my husband is always telling me, yeah, you believe everything people are telling you, but I really truly believe them, but then sometimes it seems it was not like that.
Yes.
But do you think you have a certain gift to get to hear what people are not saying and get them to give you a Truthversation, like the truth?
Yeah, okay, this is a tricky question to answer because I've always been a magnet for people's trust. So yes, I do believe that there's something special that I come with. And at the same time, I must give credit to my teachers and healers, and especially NLP and NLP, because that
study.
Yes, that gave me insight in how to observe better, listen better, not take things personal. And you know, it's a combination.
So Erika, if there are maybe people listening to this interview and thinking like, you know what, I'm in this situation exactly, like not totally happy with the way things are, but I have everything, no reason to complain. What should they do? What do you think their next step should be?
I think that my safest answer, because I'm going to be very careful. There are many people watching this, and there's never a one-size-fits-all answer. Every situation is different. Everyone is in a different relation with whomever in their life. What I would like everyone to do is to pay attention to really what you feel on the inside. And if you do feel that something's up and you do feel that you really are unhappy, book a session. Because only that way I can actually hear in which direction you want to go in for yourself, and I can offer you space, time and dedication so that you can find that within yourself and choose your right course of action.
Wow.
I can't send anyone to do this or do that. I really need to listen to each individual, to each problem or obstacle, as I like to call it, because it's
very personal.
It's very personal.
And what works for you may not work for someone else.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you so much for being so open and honest.
You're very welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. So I can say people can look up Truthversation and Journey to Horizon on social media.
Yeah,
you don't have the website yet, but you do have an appearance on social media,
yeah,
right?
so I'm working on Journey to Horizon website. However, Truthversation is online, Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank
This was
you too.
Erika Van Der Mark, my guest today in She Rises. So this interview has come to an end for today. I want to thank you for your honesty again, and also for your attention. Thank you for watching. Please look forward to a following episode of She Rises, and a special thanks to our sponsor Shana Suriname, who dressed us up today, and Food Candy, who gave us these pretty shoes we are wearing, and especially HSDS Lifestyle for decorating the studio. And look up HSDS online, because they say happiness is just one click away. Till the next episode of She Rises, struggles make you stronger.
This is another Supreme production.
Supreme TV.